All right. Jimmy Garoppolo is staying on a 1-year deal. I got the details. I'm just going to give a few quick words on my thoughts about the whole situation. And listen, let me first say that I was wrong. I didn't think that there was really any chance that Jimmy would be back. Not the most ideal situation for I think the locker room. I think that there's certainly some hangups there, some issues that could be had, but if we are to trust Kyle Shanahan, and I think most of you do, then he knows the pulse of the locker room. And he's got to be looking at it, knowing what the thoughts are of the team, knowing that he can roll with Trey Lance and it's not going to be an issue. And let's be frank, Jimmy Garoppolo is way better than a Nate Sudfeld. He's way better than a Brock Purdy. He's probably the best backup quarterback in the league, and if not the best, one of the, right? So it's not a bad thing as far as making the best team available. And the 49ers do save a ton of money on his contract. It got restructured down to $6.5 million. It can inflate up to $9 million depending on incentives and some other things. There's a no trade clause in there, which means he can't be traded to a crappy team, so he's protected. I mean, all in all, it's really not that bad, right? Like, this is not the end of the world. I look at this and say, sure, do I think Jimmy should have been off this team? 100%. But I'm not going to dwell on it and be so negative about it that I can't look at the bright side or look at why the 49ers might make a move like this. Trey Lance is still the quarterback, right? Jimmy hasn't even been there all offseason. There's no chance that this isn't Trey Lance's team. So that's really all I care about. It's time to move on to the kid. And for Jimmy, really, I thought it was unfair to him to stay in this locker room too, because he's got to take a team that he led essentially to a Super Bowl or whatever, right? Like in his thought, this is what he's thinking. And now I've got to go be a backup for them. But if he can put his pride aside, I think this is the best move for him as well. If he goes to another team, he's probably going to be a backup there. He's probably going to make the same or less money. He doesn't know the system. There's a lot that goes into it. So for Jimmy Garoppolo, for the 49ers, all in all, this is not a bad deal. It's really not that bad. So I know there's going to be a lot of let's strike, let's hate the team, let's be angry. And like I said, not ideal. Absolutely not ideal. Not the end of the world. This team is better on paper, is better with Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, the locker room, that's a whole different story. I don't know. But the team is better on paper with Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup. And at that price, you get to save a lot of money. You still have an opportunity to go all in when the trade deadline comes if this team is looking good, and or roll over a ton of money for next year that you can essentially double up because you get to go over the cap that amount. Not the end of the world. 49er fans, stay faithful. It's all good. Best backup in the league. Not the worst thing in the world. Peace.